Nico definitely did not us. Uh, I don't know. Soundboard me. I think I'm a bit autistic. I don't know what I'm talking about. What the fuck? I think I'm yapping too much. Do I yap a lot, Nico? Well, I gotta look at his screen because I'm not on there.
Ugh, I don't remember designing that one to be so yuck!
Yeah, calm down. I added a few little things here and there. Consider it karma for nearly name-dropping me in the trial, slut.
It was an honest mistake, jeez. Nobody noticed either way.
Still best not to do something like that ever again. I'm sure the boss will have our heads if we ever leak that information.
The story will unfold in whatever manner it desires. We are simply narrating the story. It's best to let what happened in the past stay in the past.
And look towards a bright future of killing! Hey, yoo-hoo, Mr. Leader! You got that next motive ready to go?
Yeah, of course I do. Don't get too excited though. It's very standard, but I'm sure you'll find a way to make it interesting.
We placing bets again? Or was that just a one and done sort of thing?
Wait, what happened?
The funny thing about water is, most sounds and sights
Sorry, I
get muffled when
forgot.
submerged in it. It's almost peaceful down
You're a
here.
little bit stupid.
A lot. Shinzuko wouldn't see it that way, would he? Did he scream as he went under? Was he already long gone by then? If nobody was around to hear him scream, did he ever make a sound?
Yeah, someone died. Forgot. I don't think so. It was you. I think it was the person who's talking. Wait, who died, by the way? I forgot. Who's the dead body? You can subscribe. Oh, someone else like. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can fix my microphone. That scared me. What the heck?
Behold the state-of-the-art Monojuke file!
This is an autopsy report.
We know, but we kinda gotta stay on ground. You know how it is.
Victim, Shinzigo Gushiken, Ultimate Diplomat.
Oh.
Maybe the ultimate diplomat would be the more fitting title.
Trudy. I just clicked the button.
Cause of death.
He drowned.
So he might have been alive when...
The victim was found weighed down to the bottom of the pool. He also suffered half a dozen stab wounds all across his body.
Time of death, unknown.
What the heck? I think I may have fucked up my microphone or something. I don't know. But this may be better. I don't know.
You see it now? It looks like there is something down there.
What in the... Wait, you're right.
Of course I'm right. My goggles double as magnifying glasses because...
Wahoo!
Because
Yeah.
it is much easier to detect fraudulent work when I can get a closer look like this. Entrepreneurs need to know a little about everything that can bring them profit.
I know a lot about everything too. Probably more than you do, lady.
I don't think this is a good time for bickering. Somebody did die after all.
Okay, Nico, wait. It's my microphone, okay? You hear me clearly?
Fine. But only 'cause you said so.
Even with your goggles on, it is still pretty hard to see exactly what is in the water.
And I'm not about to make you go dive in after what is probably a nickel or something. But I'd rather you guys knew about it than not know.
What if they pull Eva?
Be as transparent with information.
Wait, what if they pull a Chapter 1 Project Agent's Garden?
I mean,
That's
you're
not
not as
good.
talkative as you have, Ito. You never know.
Not by then, it's already spoiled, so.
Ito?
I'll tell you all why I was the way I was. After whatever this trial may be.
Well, that's rude, isn't it?
Sigh.
Tell us your talent. Now silence before you end up like that scum Shinzuko. Can I at least have my goggles back? Preferably before I become an eyewitness?
Oh? Okay, wait, that sounds better. Oh, hello, Juke. Oh shit, wait, doesn't the Dandies update end soon? Like tomorrow? I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine. I really don't want anyone there, to be honest, besides for Rudy. Okay, I might speak a bit quietly. Really quiet. Yeah. Wait, who's your favorite character in this game? Oh, wait, isn't that also the name from the guy from Persona 4? Am I chirping? Dang. They're both boy failures. Rudy means wait, after I'm done, I'm gonna have to exit the starting point now. Oh. Okay. Oh no, he's French. Oof. Okay, not gonna lie, what's it called? Your PNG tuber is so fucking cute. Like, oh my god, I want to kiss it so bad. Yes, I'm a symphony, girl. Deal with it. There's always outside evidence. Maybe check the victim's room. Or the victim's body. Why is there two people with masks? That's my question. I wonder who's the culprit.
Ta-da!
Wow, I had no idea Shinzuko was such a slob.
What?
Well, why else would he leave dust on the floor?
Come on, guys! I can't be the only one that sees this. The dust was only underneath the scratch mark thingies.
Aha! So it means they must have been marked into the wall recently.
Yep. Shinzuko must have left these. Maybe, probably, unless somebody else broke in every night to vandalize it.
All I am grasping from this is nothing.
It certainly is a deduction.
You're all totally doubting me, aren't you?
I think so, yes.
Well, that's fine by me. Maybe this is useful, maybe it's not. But we'll get the killer regardless. We gotta!
Hello, friends! Yeah, maybe some of you can guess what I'm about to say. But the time is up, up, up!
So, if everybody could make their way to your dorm room hallway, that would be great.
Oh boy, I'm so excited! It's finally happening!
Now, which one of us is going to clean up the body?
They don't need to be hearing this argument. Hang on.
So, this is it.
Are you about to give us a eulogy or something? All we need to do is solve a murder. How hard can that be?
It's hard even for professionals.
I'm banking on this killer being a total idiot.
You know, we've been so focused on finding the
I
killer.
remember the other guy.
Did anybody
And he isn't coming back. Even if we aren't at all qualified to solve this, we still have to.
Cause we'll all die if we don't. Even if our lives weren't on the line, we still owe it to Shinjuku to solve this murder.
What if it's somebody you like? What if it is somebody everybody here likes? Are you
I think you should
all
lower my
the guts to
microphone.
look somebody here in the eye
If I could lower the
their
volume.
death?
Well, whoever did this was a monster. So of course we
I
would.
think it's way too late.
I
think.
don't know. I don't want to lose any of you!
We already lost Shinzuko, so seriously, I don't see what the big deal is if the person who did it suffers like he did.
I can't believe you could be so heartless.
We need to stop thinking about what could happen after the trial and instead focus on solving the trial itself.
Clara's right. No good is going to come out of brainstorming possibilities if the outcome is all of us dying in the end. So I need everybody to be focused on solving this murder with me.
Right.
Well, this is it. I can't believe somebody in this room is a murderer. Sure, Shinzuko wasn't exactly what I call cooperative, but to kill somebody over it, that's just... Don't worry, Shinzuko. I'll figure out who killed you. And make sure they pay for what they did.
Welcome to your first ever class trial!
If you could all please make your way to the correct podium, it would be greatly appreciated.
This does not look like what I was expecting.
This isn't some homoerotic lawyer simulator. No defense or prosecution.
Just persecution and execution!
And you're not going to give us any hints?
Well, if you and your friends did this right, you wouldn't need to ask us that.
Now please sit back as we give a brief explanation of how these deadly trials work.
Unlike democracy, your vote counts here.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment.
But if you pick the wrong one, we'll punish everyone besides the Blacking, and the one that deceived everyone else will get to graduate!
Now, this is the part where we'd ask you for questions, but the issue with that narrative is we were told not to.
We are going to do everything we can to prevent this from spiraling into chaos. But in terms of deductions, you are on your own.
Well, can you people at least tell me why you put me between 2 points? It's appreciated, but one of them kinda isn't here at the moment.
Oh, you mean Shinzuko? Yeah, well, we couldn't exactly predict who was going to die when, so, he gets his own podium with his own pretty picture. I added the blood to it myself, just before we started.
And yes, it's real! Nothing but the best quality for you all here!
Nasty!
Alright, before somebody passes out at the sight of blood, we should probably get this shit show started, yeah?
That is correct, and I think the best course of action would be to discuss the status of the body.
Wahoo. I think it's the second orange text. I'm joking, I don't know which one it is.
Oh no!
Is there really anything else to say? We found Shinzuko at the bottom of the pool.
Took a lot of work to drag the guy out too.
Yes, but there is more to it than that. You see, Shinzuko had sustained some other injuries in addition to being submerged.
I get it now. You're saying
That's where you're wrong! Rin! I think you're mixing up the true cause of death!
What? Am I?
If everybody could take a look at the Monojuke file that was provided after we discovered the body...
Well, would you look at that? In plain text, Shinzuko was drowned to death.
Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense! Why the hell would the killer stab him if Shinzuko was just gonna choke on some H2O?
Hey, yeah, that's some major overkill, isn't it?
Could it perhaps be that he was stabbed before he died?
But that is sick! Sadistic, even!
Not entirely unrealistic, though. We hardly know each other. Somebody here, maybe even multiple people here. They could very well be secretly twisted.
Which one of you girls would do such a thing?
are you all staring at me for?
Even if you did, you really just expect us to trust you so blindly?
Hideaki is right! Yutong, why did you murder Shizuko?
Back the fuck up, people! There's no way all of you are against me on this.
Well...
Hello, what's this?
Usually I think you're funny, but never do that again.
Fine. But it just sounds like you all want to vote already. How fine!
Excuse you?
This conclusion seems rushed, but it does make sense what we know about Miss Fujika.
I can't even believe she'd do such a thing!
The rest of us can.
Hey, wait! I can.
What? Oh, come on, Mari. It was totally her.
This is it! Well, I can't deny that Yutong, under any other
Oh,
circumstance,
that's
would be my
the one.
number one suspect. It can't be her this time, because she was there when we discovered the body.
So it can't be her because...
Oh, but because in order to discover the body, 3 non-culprits must discover it, correct?
And if I can remember correctly, Chio, you mentioned just after the announcement went off that you...
That I had my eyes closed underneath my mask the entire time. I wasn't about to risk traumatizing myself this early.
You... what?
Yeah, I had my eyes closed. Is this really such a big deal?
Yes, that is a huge deal, you buffoon.
It means 3 people can be cleared of any suspicion immediately. Me, Buck, and Yutong.
Woohoo! 3 down and 11 to go.
I'm relieved you got a brain under that head of hair of yours, Ginger.
But with the number 1 suspect crossed off so quickly, where do we go from here?
Allow me. I believe it'd be best we went over our alibis from this morning. A few suspects will present themselves immediately after.
Well, all of us except 3 people have an alibi. But none of the boys would ever kill somebody!
I think it's the first one.
Yeah, Hideaki and I had an agreement to stay alive. So that leaves...
I knew that having no alibi for this morning would come to haunt me.
But can we be sure this morning's alibis are even important? The time of death is unknown, so it is possible Shinzuko wasn't even killed this morning.
But if he was killed before this morning, somebody would have found him sooner, right?
What if he's been dead for days and nobody noticed?
I really doubt that to be the case.
Well, all of us except 3 people have an alibi. But none of the boys would ever kill somebody!
Yeah, Hideaki and I had an agreement to stay alive. So that leaves...
I knew that having no alibi for this morning would come to haunt me.
But can we be sure this morning's alibis are even important? The time of...
I agree! As suspect as it is that Natsuhiko, Hideaki, and Yosuke have no alibis for this morning, I don't think it is particularly important, and we can't narrow it down just to those 3 yet.
While I was investigating with Bach, I had discovered a note in Shinzuko's desk.
Oh, That.
Yes. Nagamori and I believe it may suggest the murder happened at some time last night.
Are you reading it out loud? Meet me in the pool supply closet at 7:30. I wanted to talk about that note. HM.
Excuse you?
Shush, shush, shush! Even with him dead, we promised we'd keep it between us.
Keep what between you, exact?
I really don't know if we can tell you.
Everybody, please listen! We are going to need all the information we can get. I can respect wanting to keep your friend's wishes, but are you all prepared to die for it? Are you all prepared to let us all die for it?
Mr. Simon Selru, it isn't anything like that.
Well then, by all means, enlighten me. It should be up to the group to decide what is or isn't relevant here.
In your dreams!
Maybe it is in our best interest to let them know.
But we all heard Shinzuko. How certain he was of what he told us.
Just tell us already!
If they want this trial to crash and burn, I just say let it burn! One of us is the mastermind of this entire game.
You mean the sicko who started this whole thing is here?
Now, how the hell did you guys figure out any of that?
This is a plot twist even I hadn't expected.
Well, is it true? Do you just expect us to confirm such juicy information?
Yeah, it's legit.
What do you think you're doing?
They have no way of finding out who it is. If anything, it is just more motive to murder. I know what I'm doing, trust me.
How sick! One of us is already dead, and yet you still add more fuel to the hellfire?
They don't care about any of us, Seonaru. How many more times do we need to say it? These people are going to let us all die if we don't solve this. So you four, explain how you figured this out and why we should trust you.
Fine. Shinzuku wasn't the killer you all mistook him for.
Mistook? Didn't he admit to it in broad daylight?
That is only half true.
In short, he was lying. Hideo, Clara, Natsuhiko, and I all had that suspicion from the start.
After all, admitting something so openly with no provoking is asinine.
Alright, Shinzuko, what was that?
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought something was up.
Oh my! Why are you all still here? Was something I said not to your liking?
I'd like to think a murder confession would be to nobody's liking, but I don't think that is exactly why we stayed.
Should have known the political guy would be a star actor. What are you playing at?
You all take me for a liar? About being a killer, I assume. But why would I ever do that?
He wanted to see who could be trusted. You need us for something, right? But you didn't know who we were until right now.
You trusted all of us. There was nothing to gain for you to admit to your alleged crimes.
Unless admitting them was the real shock all along.
I'd clap for you four, but that would draw too much attention to ourselves. Of course I'm not a killer. And even if I was, I'd never tell any of you. I can't tell you anything in too much detail while we're still in the gym. So here's my plan. You four are going to agree to perform a wellness check on me every night. It is during these checks in Hideo's lab where I will tell you crucial info you need to survive with me.
I hope you're not actually expecting us to blindly follow your orders without good reason.
Of course! I'd never expect that much from bright minds. I suppose, if you need convincing, the nation I work for, they knew this was going to happen. I was sent here to stop it. I can't do that alone, but I had no idea who to trust. The person behind this game is walking among us. I don't know who, unfortunately, hence the little test. Sorry for that shock, by the way.
I think Bo's crazy.
I'm not sorry.
Some of these people are going to have to die in our pursuit for the truth. Now, do you want that to be you?
But letting the others die is...
Letting the others die is what needs to be done. The loss of useless life is not a loss at all.
We don't have a choice to decline this offer, do we?
I'll see you all at 8 p.m. sharp. Hideo's lab.
Did he really say all those things?
Word for word. Kind of funny with how often he talked about being equal to our escape. Only to, you know.
Yeah, even if he did hold useful information, it was wrapped up in so much propaganda that it was barely understandable.
Well, can you tell us what he said, shit for brains?
No. You don't need those details to solve this murder. I hope.
You hope?
So secretive as per usual. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Nothing is gonna get done until you spill all the beans.
Actually, I am willing to believe them on this. Besides, the information they have told us is more than useful enough.
Yeah, now we know Shinzuko was killed at 7:30.
Hey, you four. Those meetings you had. Did you have one the night Shinzuko died?
Of course we did. We all waited in Hideo's lab until around 11 p.m. However, the only person who never showed up was Shinzuko himself.
So the culprit is Hideo, then?
How did you get to that conclusion?
Oh, dear. Please, just let me explain. It's no secret that the sandbags were taken from Hideo's lab. He obviously used them to make sure Shinzuko died.
And then what? Killed and drowned Shinzuko at 7:30 and then returned to the group to pretend nothing was wrong? Whoa, wait, is that what happened? Heidi, I had no idea you were strong enough to cause the rope burns while dragging the body.
Surprised he didn't lose a piece of his glove in the process.
It's no secret that the sandbags were taken from Hideo's lab. He obviously used them to make sure Shinzuko died.
And then what? Killed and drowned Shinzuko at 7:30 and then returned to the group to pretend nothing was wrong? Whoa, wait, is that what happened? Heidi,
Forgive me for this. Maybe you have a better idea if you were with us when Clara and Osumi explained the state of the body to us. But to paraphrase, it was determined those burns were caused by me mishandling the body while underwater.
Mr. Simon Saburu.
I also agree
Yeah.
with Hideo.
Oh.
Before anyone else cuts me off, the killer causing the rope burns does mean that it can't be Hideo. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
if his own brother was surprised he could move a body so far, then it can't be him, right?
Nagamori, do you just expect me to believe something that is so obviously a damn lie?
Hey! He was just trying to help you, Meanie!
Hold on.
Would everybody be silent for just 1 moment?
You just bring the dumbass.
Are you alright? I don't think we've ever heard you yell that loud before.
Some of us have.
Despite Nagamori's very obvious lie, I do not think she's wrong.
All according to plan.
As I was saying, all that has been determined is that the time of death was at the earliest 7:30 p.m. However, I am proposing that he specifically died after 10 p.m.
Wait, huh? But that's literally impossible! And here I thought you were one of the smart ones.
I think I see where Clara is going with this, and if it may clear Hideo's name, then I agree.
I want Hideo to be innocent as much as everybody else, but come on, guys, you're grasping.
Exactly. The rules are clear.
What Clara's saying is...
Stop the trial! Well. Now you've done it, huh?
Wait, what's going on?
You trigger a minigame. Get used to it, you guys.
With the voices of the people being split down the middle, we are going to have you all yell at each other until the people who yell the loudest win.
Better known as a scrum debate!
A scrum debate? So...
Yep! You're all so predictable, so we're gonna split you up ourselves in just a moment!
Clara, we apologize in advance, but for balancing, we had...
I'd rather not contribute at all in that case.
Also fair. Alright, let's get this started!
The rules say you can't be in the pool area past 10 p.m. Obviously, it happened before then. Dodoy. The rules say you can't be in the pool area past 10 p.m.
Natsuhiko!
Don't count your chickens before they cross the road. The rules only say they cannot swim. It doesn't forbid entry into the room.
Well then, there'll be no way to run Shinsuke without breaking no touching water rule.
The rules say you can't be in the pool area.
Natsuhiko!
Don't count your chickens before they cross the road. The rules only say they cannot swim. It doesn't forbid entry into the room.
Well then.
The rules say you can't be in the...
Natsuhiko!
Don't count your chickens before they cross the road. The rules only say they cannot swim. It doesn't forbid entry into the room.
Well then.
Sayonara!
Need I remind your feeble mind? Shinzuko was held underwater by sandbags. He was able to drown with no direct human contact.
Duh! Of course, I asked me before. How often I say I'll be able to make it to both?
I'd do I suspect to match the word. The day would have bad blood or water on him. It was before. Dipshit.
And what about those sandbags? Seems like
Ito!
Is he serious? The sandbags could have easily been placed there in the closet ahead of time. Stay on topic, please. Somebody died.
But the meeting was for 7:30.
Mori!
Considering the mountain of evidence we have, yeah. That meeting was just a super long and gruesome torture sesh.
Back to the actual topic, even with the sandbags doing the work.
Chio!
The killer must have swooped in over the rafters using a life ring. That is how they stayed completely dry. Or they just used the diving board as a diving board.
Or after, who cares? Can we all just vote for the option?
My turn! No! We can't cast any vote until this has been settled. It could lead to another suspect.
This is our answer.
You all understand now, right? Not only was Shinzuko killed after 10 p.m., but because he was killed solely at night, the killer can't be Hideo.
I'm shocked some of you guys actually found that water loophole thingy.
And I can't believe I missed it.
While the rule loophole of not coming into contact with the water was a clever move by our killer, can we go back to what Chio mentioned?
The life ring thing? That was just a silly theory I had. Nobody would ever do that.
I think he meant the stuff about the diving board, or plank, or whatever we are calling that.
Do I really need to spell it out? Because that would take ages.
Chio, please don't waste any more of our time by literally spelling it out. I can handle this one. It must be this! Chio was definitely referring to the blood we found around the pool deck. After all, Shinzuko had a lot more injuries in addition to being drowned.
Wow, so smart of him! Too bad we didn't have any real suspects.
Now that I wouldn't be too sure about.
Are you nuts?
We just finished clearing Hideo's name for some reason, and you have another suspect?
Go Ito! Wait, you're not about to say your own name, right?
Of course not. Making sure it wasn't Hideo should have been all the information we needed to
Oh.
put this trial to rest. Allow me to elaborate.
After a brief word from our sponsors! This trial is sponsored by us.
Well, no shit it's run by us. We just wanted to give you all a bit of a break before getting into the real heavy stuff.
Who's we?
Okay, fine. It was mostly my idea, but it'll be a blast.
Sit back and watch this very clear breach of privacy for the laws.
Is there really anything else to say? We found Shinsuko. What the? I sound so dead. Like, I sound like depressed Chio, you know? I sound awful.
I know a lot about everything too. I got a fucking hair in my mouth. Ah. I blame that on you, Bryn. Fuck you. Got fucking.
Was this the "How's your dad" line? Oh, how's your fucking dad, yo scale? That's funny when I do it.
That we are oh my god, blame these nuts, I swear to god.
I'd like to think a murder confession would be to nobody's liking, but I don't think it is exactly... Well, no, I said that way too slowly. I'm so sorry. Me when I'm a snail.
I don't want to lose any of you. That's me when I'm lying.
You all take me for a liar?
I regret ever working with you people.
As if the creator of the story gave you a choice. Let's get back to the important stuff now, yes?
Was all of that really necessary?
Probably not. Now,
That's
can I
crazy.
get to the point I was making before?
Something about another suspect, right?
Indeed. Now, forgive me for this, but I am not about to tell you all outright. Much like Shinsuko, I'd like to know who we can rely on in these trials.
Didn't he already have that stuff covered with his dumb prank?
Being smart and knowing what to do with said intelligence are two different things. Now let's begin.
Can't believe she isn't just telling us, but fine. We all seem to agree who it can be. Namely Bach, Nagamori, Yutong, and Hideo.
But I don't see how that could point to any sort of deduction to the true culprit.
Well, we all thought it was Hideo for a lot of reasons. I know none of us wanted to point out the elephant in the room, but the way the note was signed pointed to it only being—
That's where you're wrong! We all got so caught up with this talk of the mastermind, we never stopped to look at the note properly, did we?
Wildcatty, oh my god, I think.
But less hapless as opposed to this morning.
We got that from what was written in the note. However, I think Ito wanted one of us to point out the signature.
HM? Hideo's initials. Right, Nagamori?
Those aren't just Hideo's initials, though, are they? I'm saying the number one suspect is now hid.
Your hypothesis is illogical. While the possibility cannot be denied, accusing the other HM in these trial grounds will almost guarantee our untimely death. Besides, I can deduce here and now why it simply cannot be the case. into all of your points, I do agree. The culprit cannot be Hideo. However, shifting the blame to Hideaki simply because he shares the same initials is unjustified. Have none of you stopped to consider that the note was forged entirely? A discussion was open for the other obvious culprit, so why not him as well?
Well, I do agree it is entirely possible that the note was forged. I don't think that's the case. Why would a forger only sign with somebody's initials instead of a full name? Wouldn't that make a suspect much easier to frame? None of us are going to vote immediately. But we can't toss aside this accusation because it might be too obvious.
How am I supposed to believe you when everybody here has been pointing fingers non-stop? I suggest we at least get one more suspect and have them argue against it. Having every possible option before we begin interrogating a single person would be most efficient after all. It isn't like there is any more evidence that could be used on Hideaki. Listening to all of your points, I do agree. The culprit cannot be Hideo. However, shifting the blame to Hideaki simply because he shares the same initials is unjustified. Have none of you stopped to consider that the note was forged entirely? A discussion was open for the other obvious culprit, so why not him as well?
Well, I do agree it is entirely possible that the note was forged. I don't think that's the case.
Move
Why
on.
would a forger only sign with somebody's initials instead of a full name? Wouldn't that make a suspect much easier to frame? None of us are going to vote immediately. But we can't toss aside this accusation because it might be too obvious.
How am I supposed to believe you when everybody here has been pointing fingers non-stop? I suggest we at least get one more suspect and have them argue against it. Having every possible option before we begin interrogating a single person would be most efficient after all. It isn't like there is any more evidence that could be used on Hideaki. Listening to all of your points, I do agree. The culprit cannot be. However, shifting the blame to Hideaki simply because he shares the same initials is unjustified. Have none of you stopped to consider that the note was forged entirely? A discussion was open for the other obvious culprit, so why not him as well?
Well, I do agree it is entirely possible that the note was forged. I don't think that's the case. Why would a forger only sign with somebody's initials instead of a full name? Wouldn't that make a suspect much easier to frame? None of us are going to vote immediately. But we can't toss aside this accusation because it might be too obvious.
How am I supposed to believe you when everybody here has been pointing fingers non-stop? I suggest we at least get one more suspect and have them argue against each other. Having every possible option before we begin interrogating a single person would be most efficient after all. It isn't like there is any more evidence that could be used on Hideaki. Listening to all of your points, I do agree. The culprit cannot be Hideaki. However, shifting the blame to Hideaki simply because he shares the same initials is unjustified. Have none of you stopped to consider that the note was forged in... A discussion was open for the other obvious culprit, so why not him as well?
Well, I do agree it is entirely possible that the note was forged. I don't think that's the case. Why would a forger only sign with somebody's initials instead of a full name? Wouldn't that make a suspect much easier to frame? None of us are going to vote immediately. But we can't toss aside this accusation because it might be too obvious.
How am I supposed to believe you when everybody here has been pointing fingers non-stop? I suggest we at least get one more suspect and have them argue. Having every possible option before we begin interrogating a single person would be most efficient after all. It isn't like there is any more evidence that could be used on Hideaki. Listening.
The fuck?
While the possibility cannot be denied, besides... However, shifting the blame to Hideaki simply because he shares the same initials is unjustified. Have none of you stopped to consider that the note was forged entirely? A discussion was open for the other obvious culprit, so why not him as well?
Well, I do agree it is entirely possible that the note was forged.
I say look up the guide.
Why would a forger only sign with somebody's initials instead of a full name? Wouldn't that make a suspect much easier to frame? None of us are going to vote immediately. But we can't toss aside this accusation because it might be too obvious.
How am I supposed to believe you when everybody here has been pointing fingers non-stop? I suggest we at least get one more suspect and have them argue. Having every possible option before we begin interrogating a single person would be most efficient after all. It isn't like there is any more evidence that could be used on Hideaki.
I'll cut through your words! Clara, don't you get it? This may not point to Hideaki directly, but there is some circumstantial evidence that strengthens my argument.
Hey! What is all this about? I haven't even had time to defend myself yet!
Before you start another argument, please let Nagamori finish his point.
Those sandbags! They were still attached to Shinjuko's body. I mean, it took 3 people just to get him out of the water.
Lifting that little guy while he was soaking wet was not easy.
Do I gotta remind you that I helped with that? Why would I do that if I killed the poor guy?
Because the shorty asked you to join in getting the body out of the water?
Hey!
Please ignore them.
I guess I can see where you're coming from, Nagamori. I mean, I sure as hell couldn't move those sandbags no matter how much time I was given.
But that doesn't narrow it down to just me. Come on!
I think he narrows it down to Hideaki, Yosuke, Nagamori, Yutong, Osumi, and Ito.
Well, we already said it can't be Yutong or Nagamori. They discovered the body with Bach.
It also can't be Mr. Izumu, due to his unique situation over the last few days.
I'm recovering well now, but no way I'd be strong enough to move.
So that leaves Yosuke, Hideaki, and Ito. Well, I know who it is. Mori, don't you remember how strange Natsuhiko and Ito were acting in our investigation?
But I believe my motivations are as clear as crystal now.
However, we cannot say the same for Ito.
I promise to tell all after the trial.
Sounds like something a killer would say, even a pretty one like her.
Nobody listen to Mr. Matsui. Not because he's a suspect or anything. He's just stupid.
I knew. Things about
No, he didn't.
Shinsuke working with him prior to entering this hell made me aware of his, let's call them schemes.
Hey, wait a second. Ito, was it you who was talking to Shinsuke the other day?
Yes. Is that the answer you want? I pulled him into the gymnasium and interrogated him on his motivations.
So you also knew he was bluffing?
I had my suspicions from the moment he confessed to us all. Typical of him to put up just another front for needs that he was too blinded to understand. I almost feel pity for him. Almost. He was used by those around him until there was nothing left. None of us know Shinjuko Gushiken. I don't even think he knows himself. He was nothing more than an illusion. Idolizing the demons who had him under their thumb. It was my job to infiltrate his place of work and dismantle them from the inside. The darkness and corruption he was victim to. I should have put him out of his misery months before we even arrived here. But I wasn't about to show mercy for him with my own life at stake. That much I promise.
How are we supposed to believe you after that?
I think that's the most I've ever heard you talk. Whoa.
This is all sounding very incriminating.
If you want to cast your vote for me, there is nothing I can do to stop you. But the culprit is not me. If death means I die by my values, then do it. Cast the vote.
Do you plan to kill us that edge, Miss Kiyoshi Imo?
Excuse you?
Proficiency in puns aside, as amazing as that was.
We need to cast a vote!
Mori, what?
But didn't some evidence point to Hideaki?
It did, but then Ito basically confessed.
Are you sure that's a confession?
Of fucking course it was a confession.
I also think voting right now isn't very safe.
Sheesh, do we have to whip out the minigame again? Because,
Time to get back on track.
Just because you know Shinzuko doesn't mean she killed him.
Exactly! Doesn't she have an alibi for the morning and Hideaki doesn't?
Oh, true! But didn't we already fight about those alibis being pointless, or am I forgetting something?
I don't think you are. Nagamori needs something more concrete than just another baseless accusation.
I don't think we have any of those.
Maybe if we talked about that note for a third time, that could be useful again.
Or maybe Nagamori wasn't lying about the rope burn earlier.
He definitely was, but that is water under the burning bridge. I believe there is something about what was discovered in the pool supply closet that has gone undiscussed.
This is it! Natsuhiko! Are you getting at what I think you're getting at?
Possibly. I left it open-ended just in case you and I were referring to different things, but to prevent this rambling from going on any longer, I suppose I can just...
The fact that I am telling you both to get to the point should be an insult.
Sorry. What I was saying was, well, most people were focused on all of the blood in the room. There was something along the back wall that caught...
Oh, you mean the scratchy symbol on the wall! Did you finally discover what it means?
A scratch in the what? How is that useful at all?
I'm with cotton candy over here. I don't see how a crack in the wall can be the damning evidence you're looking for.
What that symbol represented was something that was bugging me ever since we saw it. But now I know it wasn't any written language I had the opportunity to study.
It was a picture, right?
Would you like an award, Mr. Simon Saburu? What it is a picture of would be more useful to us.
It must be this! Knowing what we know about our final three suspects, it only makes sense that the carving in the wall was a snowflake, right?
My thoughts exactly.
But if the markings on the wall were a snowflake...
And one of the final suspects is a skier.
So it would only apply to him.
Hey! Now what are the weird looks for? You're not seriously believing in Nagamori, are ya?
His argument makes sense, though. It does kind of look like snowflake if you squint enough.
Bullshit it does! That means nothing! It's a dumb guess from a dumb hero!
Wait, yeah! There are still so many things not accounted for! Come on, Mori, you're better than this!
For sure! Hideaki and I promised to keep each other alive in this stupid game, so I know he'd never even think about pulling a stunt like this one!
We don't even really know if that wall carving was made during the murder, do we?
I'm sure there is a way to figure that out, so long as we think this over carefully.
There's nothing to think over carefully! I didn't do it!
Maybe, somebody saw when the marks were being made? Under our current hypothesis, only the killer would have noticed that. But the stipulations to that argument are as follows.
Don't even know for certain it was Mr. Gushikin that left that message for us in the first place.
We also don't know if it was made during the murder like we're assuming.
But there would be no other reason or opportunity to leave such a simplistic drawing in the supply closet.
There's nothing to think over carefully! I didn't do it!
Maybe, somebody saw when the marks were being made? Under our current hypothesis, only the killer would have noticed that. But the stipulations to that argument are as follows.
Don't even know for certain it was Mr. Gushikin that left that message for us in the first place.
We also don't know if it was made during the murder like we're assuming.
But there would be no other reason or opportunity to leave such a simplistic drawing in the supply closet.
There's nothing to think over carefully. I didn't do it.
Maybe, somebody saw when the marks were being made? Under our current hypothesis, only the killer would have noticed that. But the stipulations to that argument are as follows.
Don't even know for certain it was Mr. Gushikin that left that message for us in the first place.
We also don't know if it was made during the murder like we're assuming.
But there would be no other reason or opportunity to leave such a simplistic drawing in the supply.
I think it's a girl.
There's nothing to think
that
over carefully.
argument.
I didn't do it.
Maybe, somebody saw when the marks were being made? Under our current hypothesis, only the killer would have noticed that. But the stipulations to that argument are as follows.
Don't even know for certain it was Mr. Gushikin that left that message for us in the first place.
We also don't know if it was made
That's
during the murder
how-
like we're assuming.
But there would be no other reason or opportunity to leave such a simplistic drawing in the supply closet.
There's nothing to think over carefully. I didn't do it.
Maybe, somebody saw when the marks were being made? Under our current hypothesis, only the killer would have noticed that. But the stipulations to that argument are as follows.
Don't even know for
That's where you're wrong! Unfortunately for Hideaki, there is one way to narrow down the window of opportunity for when the carving was made.
Well,
I think
go
it's Charles
on,
and that green girl.
Magical explanation. Are you pulling out?
I think it might be better for Box to explain this for me, actually.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, sure. Just mind telling me what I'm explaining?
He's referring to your odd discovery in Shinzuko's room, I think.
Oh, easy peasy. Well, I used all my strength to move Shinzuko's bed away from the wall. That's when I saw it. 2 little lines carved into the wall.
That doesn't mean shit.
And a small pile of dust collecting just below it.
Considering this dust was likely concrete powder from scratching into the walls, we can assume it was a tally Shinzuko was keeping as the day passed in here.
But, wasn't the body found on the 4th day?
Exactly. So this proves 2 things. 1, that we were correct in deducing that the murder happened the night before we found the body. And 2, Shinzuko was attacked before he ever had the chance to mark down the 3rd day.
Oh, whoop-de-doo! The little guy got tardy with his arts and crafts project. Somebody tell me how this is fucking important again?
It narrows the window of opportunity like Nagamori had said, making it much more likely the carving was made during the murder.
Which I guess it means a snowflake.
Meaning Hideaki is the culprit.
How stupid of him to sign a note with his own initials.
I didn't do that. I'm being framed. I'm telling you.
We are only going through the evidence, and the evidence suggests you're the prime suspect. How many times do we have to tell you this to get it through your head?
Too many, in my opinion. If you're innocent, Hideaki, there should be nothing to worry about.
Well, what I was worrying about right now is how you all plan to prove it. Was even Shizuko who scratched that snowflake into the wall in the first place?
Oh.
It all makes sense now!
Nagamori, are you feeling alright?
Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. I'd just like for Rin to go over what she saw in the pool during our investigation. I know what it is now!
Well, even with my goggles, I was never able to get a clear image. Couldn't have been much bigger than a pen, though. Something small and metallic is the best description I can give.
That's more than enough. Do you all get it? Shinjuku carried around the blade with him at all times. After he got attacked, he identified his killer by carving a symbol into the wall. And that blade must have fallen out of his grasp once he was pushed into the pool.
Huh?
It explains a number of other details that didn't quite add up as well. Signing that note with the killer's own initials was clearly a half-assed attempt to gain Shinjuku's trust for this meeting. It must have only partially worked. He did arrive armed, after all.
No, hang on! Don't get ahead of yourself!
And finally,
I've had enough of this! You're all just making shit up left and right to frame me! I'll show you! I'll show you all! I'm not a killer! You all listen to everybody else when they say this to them! Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies! We don't even know the murder weapon! Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? You all listen to everybody else when they say this to them! Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies! We don't even know— Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Well,
Hideaki,
itching
we can't exactly
and
fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid?
well, I think it's worth more that they want to move on.
You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them! Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies! We don't even know the— Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them! Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies! We don't even— Where's your proof that it— Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't— One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind!
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
You're all just making shit. Oh, you all listen to everybody else when they say this to them. Why won't you listen to me? All you— Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or— One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? You You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them. Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies. We don't even know where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now. I'll prove it to you that it's all useless.
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid?
Students of talent.
You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them. Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies. We don't even know the murder weapon. Show it to me now. I'll prove it to you that it's all useless.
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them. Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies. We don't even— Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now.
I don't know
I'll prove it
either.
to you that it's all useless. You're all just making shit up left and right to frame me! I'll show you! I'll show you all! I'm not a killer! You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them! Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies! We don't even know— Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? You won't listen to everybody else when they say this to them. Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies. Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now. I'll prove it to you that it's all useless.
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideo or Ito? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind! Is that good enough for you, stupid? won't listen to everybody else when they say this is them. Why won't you listen to me? All you have are assumptions and lies. Where's your proof that it was me? Show it to me now! I'll prove it to you that it's all useless!
Hideaki, we can't exactly fault you for how clumsy this plan of yours was. After all, you had no idea your own life was on the line, which is exactly why you—
I didn't do jack! Why can't we just go back to Hideki? One of them has to be stupid enough to leave that blade behind! Because there's no way I would have left that behind!
I'll cut through your words! You know, there's actually an explanation as to why you have left such vital evidence behind. And bringing it up only strengthens my argument!
Please tell me you're joking, Mari!
He's gotta be!
The reason Shinjuku's blade got left behind is because retrieving it was impossible!
I call BS! Hideaki can swim! He proved it when we all went to get the body! You're reaching, man!
I'm not denying that fact. What I'm saying is because the pool was closed past 10 p.m., Hideaki would not have been able to dive in after the evidence. The rules say so clearly. Isn't that right, Monojuke?
I could have confirmed it for you. I have the rules memorized now.
Can we recruit him instead of, Blue?
Hey, not cool! Gonna dox him on Twitter.com for this later.
To skip to the important part of the story, I can also verbally confirm the rule of all amenities being closed after 10 p.m.
Oh, wait. Can we go back to the me being recruited thing? Because that's freaking me out.
Later. For now, we have a killer to catch.
If only it were me instead. A shame.
So I guess my question is, why? If Hideaki did all of this, why? The motive couldn't have been that bad for him, was it?
Not to mention, unfortunately, Mr. Matsu is a good point. We have no idea what caused Mr. Gushikin's other injuries.
Does that really matter? It was him! We can end this right here, right now, if you all trust in me!
Nagamori, we all know you're smart, but I'm not going to risk my life until we know for certain.
It would just be suicide if we did. Come on, if it's really him, there should be some more info we can beat out of him, yeah?
Maybe not actually beat, but a little bit more would make me much more confident.
I suppose a final group discussion would be of great benefit in solidifying our culprit.
This case has many more layers than I first thought.
Like an onion.
Or a parfait. So, why are we doing this again? Something about a weapon?
I thought we all agreed the murder weapon was water.
The water doesn't stab people! Unless it's ice. The weapon used wasn't an icicle, was it?
Of fucking course it wasn't! It's probably something we didn't find in our investigation.
But then there would be no way to narrow it down.
That's okay. We can just deduce something else before voting for Hideaki.
For the last fucking time! I didn't do it!
Save your breath for the execution. I am begging you.
So, why are we doing this again? Something about a weapon?
I thought we all agreed the murder weapon was water.
The water doesn't stab people! Unless it's ice. The weapon used wasn't an icicle, was it?
Of fucking course it wasn't! It's probably something we didn't find in our investigation.
But then there would be no way to narrow it down.
That's okay. We can just deduce something else before voting for Hideaki.
For the last fucking time! I didn't do it!
Save your breath for the execution. I am begging you.
So, why are we doing this again? Something about a weapon?
I thought we all
agree the weapon was water.
The water doesn't stab people. Unless it's ice. The weapon used wasn't an icicle, was it?
Of fucking course it wasn't! It's probably something we didn't find in a—
I agree!
You're agreeing with me, of all people?
Mori, are you feeling okay? Maybe you need to have a nap after all this?
What? No, I'm fine! Yutong is just right for once!
For once?
Didn't you try to kill him once already? Why are you surprised?
Wait, she did what?
Can we all, especially Chio, just let Mr. Simon Saburo get to the point?
Seriously! We could have all been out of here like an hour ago if you listened to me more. Looking at the evidence we have, nothing matches up with the strange patterns Yutong and Chio found in the pool supply closet.
So something was missed after all. But how can we determine a killer if we don't have all the evidence?
I can't believe you morons were about to vote for my best friend without even figuring that out!
We are going to die here! Oh my gosh!
No, we are not! Just because nobody found the weapon doesn't mean we don't know what it is!
Please enlighten us then. I'm at a loss for ideas.
all makes sense now! Can I draw everyone's attention to the maps on our monophones? We all split up and searched the rooms we thought would be most relevant to the investigation.
It only made sense to do it that way. Yes.
But our killer had hidden something in their lab. Something none of us would even consider to be the weapon that stabbed Shinzuko.
The only labs we've access to are Box, Mari's, Hideo's, and Hideaki's. Which I don't think...
Excuse you? I've had it locked tight ever since I saw it. I haven't even been there.
And my lab has nothing dangerous in it. Hey, what's that for?
Not a damn thing you need to worry about. Get to the point, people.
So if it wasn't in Mari or Box's lab, and Hideo's lab was already being searched...
That leaves...
Hideaki.
What?
The weapon used to incapacitate Shinzuko is still definitely in your lab, isn't it?
No, hey, wait a second! I spent all my free time there! I would have noticed if he was hiding a knife or something like that!
Yeah, see? Oh, bullshit!
You're a lot smarter than we gave you credit for. Hiding the weapon in plain sight, yeah?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about!
I wanted to give you a chance to say it for yourself, but... Alright, the weapon we have all been looking for is a ski pole.
Wait, what? How does that make any sort of sense?
It doesn't! Don't you all get it? He's been lying this entire time! What if he killed Shizuko and has been manipulating this entire trial to kill us all?
But we determined without a doubt that it cannot be him. He has no reason to lie to us.
Nice of you to do the world's most complex murder that can only be traced back to you.
Oh, come on, guys! Nagamori has been saying nothing but useless assumptions this entire trial! And I won't let him trick you all! You're reaching! I would never kill somebody! You're reaching! You're reaching! I'm telling the truth! You're reaching! You're reaching! I'm telling the truth! He's lying to you! This is all useless! I would never kill somebody! I didn't kill Shizuko! I'm telling the truth! I didn't kill Shizuko! I'm telling the truth! He's lying to you! I would never kill somebody! I didn't kill Shizuko! I didn't kill Shizuko! I didn't kill Shizuko! I would never kill somebody! I never kill somebody! This is all useless! I would never kill somebody! You're reaching! This is all useless! I would never kill somebody! He's lying to you! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways! I didn't kill Shizuko! He's lying to you! I didn't kill Shizuko! I would never kill somebody! He's lying to you! I didn't kill Shizuko! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways! This is all useless! This is all useless! He's lying to you! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways! I'm telling the truth! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways! Somebody! I'm telling the truth! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways! Lying to you! There is no other evidence to prove I used escape hole anyways!
This ends now! Shinzuko's injuries were all nearly identical! You didn't account for that, did you?
If we take into account the design of most skip holes, the stopper on the bottom of them would line up with what we know of the victim.
No! No, that isn't right!
Then by all means.
Hideaki, my boy, you didn't really do it, did you?
Of course I didn't! Don't say another goddamn word! Now you, Nagamori Simon Saburo, this so-called ultimate hero, do you think that we are going to keep believing you like this?
Kinda.
Your point made sense previously. Now, Mr. Simon Saburo has clearly made its usefulness known.
You managed to clear my name at least. Sucks you can't do the same for your friend.
Are you all siding with him? Him! This utterly pathetic nobody who thinks he can accuse whoever he fucking pleases because of some irrelevant talent!
What? I'm not some nobody! Why am I explaining myself to you?
Me?
Yes! You! At least I haven't spent all my time here getting buddy-buddy with a murderer!
He's not a murderer! Haven't you all been listening to me?
Why would we? You kind of have nothing of value to say.
Nothing of value? Nothing of value! I have been trying so hard to be the captain you all need! And that idiot is ruining it!
Oh my god! You really think you can still do that? Look at yourself! The only pathetic nobody in this room is you.
How dare you!
Yosuke!
I am going to make the rest of your life a living hell. Mark my words on that.
That might be going a little too far, but what if it isn't Hideaki? Maybe Yosuke is right?
What? No. Literally no. He is not.
Maybe for those of us who for some reason, still believe in Hideaki's innocence. Nagamori, can you recap the case for all of us? Then, we can finally send the sinner where he rightfully belongs.
Me? Well, if it will end this... I'll do it! This case began with Shinzuko, making what he thought to be a smart decision. I'm going to come right out and say it was anything but. He told all of us that he was a cold-blooded killer. Most of us believe him at face value and went our separate ways for the next few days. Keyword, most of us. Some of us stayed behind, namely Clara, Natsuhiko, Rin, and Hideo. This explains their shitty behavior over the next few days. As Shinzuko had told them the truth, and forced them to keep his secret. In addition to keeping the secret, he also made them all meet Hideo's lab every night at 8 p.m. to discuss some secrets about the killing game. As much as it pains me to admit, this meeting is crucial in giving each of them a solid alibi for the murder, something the killer planned to screw up by confusing us about the time of death. At some point in the week, the culprit had probably used some sandbags from Hideo's lab and a escape rope from his own into the pool supply closet in preparation for his victim. The night of the murder, they had slipped a note under Shinzuko's door, signing it with their own initials, knowing Shinzuko will assume it was Hideo. What they didn't account for was Shinzuko being cautious and arming himself with a small blade he had been used to keep track of the days in the game. Even armed, Shinzuko was no match for a killer, quickly grabbing the ski pole and stabbing him repeatedly with it. I'm going to assume they got some blood on them and wanted to wash it off while Shinzuko bled. Otherwise, with this, he was able to help us identify his killer from beyond the grave. Seeing Shinzuko wasn't dead yet must have been quite the shock, especially since by now the rules were in effect and swimming in the waters to drown him would be against them. Having prepared for this, the culprit set down the ski pole, leaving no strip. They even tied the sandbags to Shinzuko's ankles and dragged his near-lifeless body over to the pool's diving board. This is what caused a trail of blood on the pool deck. Using their strength, the killer hoisted Shinzuko up onto the diving board and threw him in. This didn't break any rules, since the killer was careful not to get themselves wet in the process. What we don't know for certain is if the killer knows Shinzuko's blade fell to the bottom of the pool, forcing them to leave him the crucial piece of evidence behind. And they grabbed the ski pole once more and hid in plain sight. Their own lab, knowing nobody would think that it was evidence. It was left unexamined. All that was left for the killer was to go to bed and rejoin the others once the body was discovered. I doubt they expected Yosuke and I to go in after the body, but the culprit being invited to join in retrieving it worked for a while to gain all of our trust. that body of the water is also what gave Clara and Osumi the opportunity to identify the uniform injuries all over the body, seeing the fate of the killer. And that is how your perfect crime went downhill. Or would you care to refute my claims? Hideaki Matsui, the ultimate skier!
He finally has nothing left to say.
Hideaki?
What do you want me to say? Every time I told you I didn't do it, you didn't believe me! This is all so useless!
Hey man, you're acting kinda weird.
This entire game is useless! I didn't sign up for this! And I'm gonna kill the bastard who put us here!
Hate to burst your bubble, but we don't know who that is.
Ah! You're useless too! Just like this trial! Just like Yakamori! Just like that stupid jukebox!
Hideaki, please! Calm down, it's alright. It's going to be okay.
Him or me? Just keep telling yourself that, man. Him or me?
Alrighty, Dale. What did you want to... Hideaki?
Your confession of being a murderer. Shinzuko. Was it real?
Please step away from the door, Hideaki.
Answer the
What are you... Yes! It was real! Now run off before I kill you, too!
I mean it!
Get away from the door!
I'm not gonna let you kill anybody else!
Kill anyone else? Wait, no!
I'm not gonna let you beat me! Ah! Ah! There. Now you can't. You can't kill anybody now. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks to you. Thank you, Shinzuko. And I'm sorry. I didn't know!
Huh? Didn't know what?
I didn't know I was gonna die! How was I supposed to know I was gonna die? Shinzuko said he was a killer! He said it! He's so stupid! A useless, stupid idiot who didn't know it was good for him!
Hideki? Dude? None of us knew about the execution upon being stupid and getting caught. Tough shit.
How could you be so cold? You damn bitch!
You may not have known you'd die for getting caught, but none of us knew that. And yet, you were the only one who decided to burn bridges with us all.
I didn't! But
You guys are being such dicks!
We are? He killed somebody!
You sinner! Shinzuko may have been a liar in the sheets, but he was still a soul! And that soul is lost! because of you!
I'm sure that this is all just a misunderstanding. Protect us?
There should be a rule against executing him because it was probably for the greater good.
I regret to inform you all that no such rule exists.
And on that note, are you all ready to vote?
No! But they're all gonna vote for me!
That is kinda how this all works, bud.
But then I die!
Amazing, isn't it? Wait! Nobody vote! He won't die if we don't vote! Right?
Mr. Aikawa, you fucking imbecile. That would kill all of us.
But he's my best friend! There has to be, something!
We all just met only a few days ago. Not saying we shouldn't find alternative options. Just
stop overreacting. Hideaki was fine with all of us dying, so we should be the same.
That isn't true! I didn't. I mean, I'm not. Stop trying to make me confess, you bitch!
Opening up the voting interface now. Good luck.
Congratulations! The murder of Shinjuku Gushikin was done by none other than Hideaki Matsui!
Please prepare yourselves and enjoy the show. It will begin shortly.
that's that then.
It was...
Please. I don't wanna die!
Price you pay, Mr. Matsui. Nobody is going to weep for you when you're gone.
My gosh, Hideo! Care to show some respect? Hideaki is about to die!
I admire him for killing the one person who prevented me from showing who I really am. But the consequences of it are not what I had in mind.
Can't believe he killed Shizuko! I just can't! I mean, I totally can, all things considered. But I didn't want it to be him!
He helped me after I nearly died. We should help him back. Right?
And risk what happened to you last time happening again?
No! Osumi, we can't lose you too! Same goes for everybody else! Hideaki, I'm sorry, but we can't help you now.
You liar!
Nagamori, watch out!
Run!
You promised me I'll make it out of here alive! You lied to all of us! You lied to Shizuko! And you lied to me!
And whose fault is that? Mine? You were the one who killed somebody! Of your own free will! You can't blame me for your mistakes!
But...
I was nice to you before, but not now! Rot in hell! Look at everybody here knowing that this was all your fault!
Adding on to your criminal record with more violence won't save you now.
If you really want to help...
Monojuke, is that execution nearly ready?
Mori! Please don't encourage this! I know you're mad at him, but he's still a person!
Huh? Oh, right. I'm sorry. I just don't take too kindly to cold-blooded killers like him.
It sounds like things are winding down. Is it time to say it? Is it punishment?
No! No, it's not!
What are you doing? It's futile.
Are you feeling okay? I mean, as okay as you can in this situation.
Somebody is about to die! I don't think any of us are feeling great.
You know what would make you feel better?
Any of you with weak stomachs, turn around now.
We have prepared a very special execution for the ultimate skier, Hideaki Matsui.
Hey, didn't you listen to him? Stop the trial!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Why are you just staying in one spot? Run!
But where do I?
What was...
That is not what I had in mind for an execution.
I'm going to be sick. She says... sick.
Yes, really? Gone?
I am very glad I'm wearing a mask right now to hide my shock.
More like hiding shame for being so mistaken for so long.
Is that gonna happen to all of us if we don't get away with murder?
Not exactly. Endings relate more to your talents, but they will all be brutal, yes.
And if one of them gets away with it, then all the innocent souls suffer that fate?
We're sorry.
Are you? If you were truly sorry, you wouldn't have us in here to begin with!
Don't you all remember what Shinzuko told some of us? The mastermind is here. In this room. Now, me personally, I don't want to be around when you all are at each other's throats over this shit. Clara, can you come with me? I can trust you enough to not do anything stupid.
Same with you. Good luck, everybody.
Well, at least I kept my promise.
Huh?
I promised Sayanaru that she wouldn't die, and she's still here.
Oh, that's true. Even if it isn't what I had wanted, I am grateful for it now, seeing what had happened. So, thank you, Abelona.
Huh? Oh, it was nothing, really. If you don't mind, though, may I stay with you for a little while longer? It's just this place is terrifying, and well, I was already with you a lot of the time, so.
Oh, I see. Yes, that is perfectly fine by me. If it makes you feel safer, I would love to stay by your side.
Phew.
Good luck with the crazy people. I'd much rather stick by Mori. I mean, he was so smart in the trial.
With all of our help, it was impressive, yes. Are you feeling alright after Hideaki's, final moments?
I wish things went a little differently, but I'm fine.
I'm glad. I might go check on Clara and Reen if you'd like to join me. It is probably best to get outside of this room, right?
You and Mark can go ahead. I'll follow shortly. I just need to check on a few things. Got it?
Got it.
For somebody who was laughing at all of us for dying soon only a few days ago, you definitely are, let's say, least composed.
Hey, you two. What's going on here?
Your guess is as good as mine. He hasn't said a word. Everybody was right about him. All talk and no action. He couldn't have been that close to you in only 3 days. You're being unreasonable. Especially for somebody who was so openly antagonistic during those 3 days.
Can you shut up?
Oh, you are talking then!
Of course I am. I'm not mouth blind. I know it was only a few days, but Hideki was the only friend I had in the shithole!
Right. He went after you after that outburst you had.
And we promised to keep each other alive. I told him everything.
Everything?
The fact that everything I was doing was because I was scared? Is that what you want to hear?
Whoa, hey! I think all of us here are scared. But that's no excuse to be an ass.
You are no different than Shinzuko in that regard. Strange.
Huh?
Well, he always had to put up facades of his own to protect his image. It was all part of his talent. Seriously, name one person in politics who isn't a liar or a manipulator.
Well...
Exactly. But this isn't the same thing.
I'd hope not! Didn't you hate that guy or something?
I still do. But the thing with Shinzuko is, he had gotten so good at hiding from others that it became almost second nature to be what everybody thought he was. It was harder for him to show his true colors than it was to hide them.
Exactly how is that different from what Yosuke was doing?
I believe Yosuke wants to be who he really is around us. It appears he was that way with Hideaki, yes? Then it was a conscious decision to lie to us. That's the difference.
Well, weren't you lying to everybody too? Being this cold, dark, mysterious emo chick who never talked to anybody?
I'm pretty sure she is still most of those things.
And I had my own reasons for being that way. I can't believe I am going to offer this.
Offer?
Yosuke, with Hideaki and Shinsuke gone, it appears we are both on our own at the moment.
No need to rub it in.
Oh my god, the density wasn't part of the bluff. I am suggesting I watch over you for the time being. At least until you make friends or whatever your master plan is.
What? I mean, yeah, that is cool. Totally cool.
So are you going to explain that one?
Without Hideaki, that man is a loose cannon. I am simply going to make sure he doesn't act on any of his stupidity.
So that entire thing about being friends was a bluff?
Obviously. I have no intention of making friends here. Him not knowing that won't kill him.
Alright, I'll just...
Thank you.
I don't remember designing that one to be so yuck!
Yeah, calm down. I added a few little things here and there. Consider it karma for nearly name-dropping me in the trial, slut.
It was an honest mistake, jeez. Nobody noticed either way.
Still best not to do something like that ever again. I'm sure the boss will have our heads if we ever leak that information.
The story will unfold in whatever manner it desires. We are simply narrating the story.
And look towards a bright future of killing! Hey, yoo-hoo, Mr. Leader! You got that next motive ready to go?
Yeah, of course I do. Don't get too excited though. It's very standard, but I'm sure you'll find a way to make it interesting.
We placing bets again? Or was that just a one and done sort of thing?
Right, motives. I know they were in here somewhere.
That took you quite some time.
Of course it did. His room is always a mess. I'm shocked he found anything at all.
I got the motives you were looking for. Am I good to just hit the hay now? This was a long day.
Fine, you big baby. Have a nice night or whatever.